break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. This is the word of the Lord. You may be seated. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to obsess over stuff? I find myself that I'm easily going into this route. You buy a new phone, suddenly you're terrified of scratching it. You get a new car, and now you're parking at the edge of the lot to avoid dents. You save up for that dream vacation, but halfway through, you're already stressing about going back to work and checking your credit card balance. Or maybe it's not even luxury like this examples. It's just everyday survival. It can be rent, groceries, bills, saving for the kids' future. That's important. Planning for retirement. We spend so much time thinking about these things that without realizing it, they start shaping what we live for. Jesus isn't blind to that. He knows how real our financial worries are. But in today's passage, he asks us a bigger question. Where are you storing your treasure? Not just your money, but your attention, your energy, and your desire. Because here's the truth. Whatever you treasure most will eventually shape your heart. And whatever shapes your heart will determine the allegiance and direction of your life. And it's true. So this morning, Jesus isn't just asking us to give up earthly things. That's not what he says. He's inviting us, rather, to invest in something better, something eternal, something that moth and rust can't eat and destroy. No thief can ever take away. But the question is, are we actually listening? Are we listening? Over the past 3 weeks, we've seen how Jesus teaches us to guard our act of righteousness from hypocrisy. In our giving, praying, and fasting, we are to set our audience as the Father in heaven alone. Though these practices are easily forgotten or twisted to serve the self, Jesus does not discard them. Rather, he upholds them and expects them, his disciples, to continue giving to the needy, praying to the Father, and fasting in secret. Why? Because these are the means by which we commune with the Father in heaven. So if you feel your faith and spiritual life are stagnant, I urge you again this morning to assess your spiritual vitality through these practices. And the first part of today's passage then explains why we should lay up treasures in heaven instead of on earth. If we translated verse 19 literally, it might read, "Do not treasure up yourselves treasures on earth." Jesus is not condemning possessions themselves, just as he did not forbid giving, praying, and fasting, but rather he's forbidding certain attitudes and actions towards earthly treasures. He's not opposing the money to money or wealth per se, in other words. What he opposes is our love, our attitude of love of these things. The obsessive attachment to money, possession, or even health, for that matter. When they begin to consume our attention and capture our hearts, that's what he's forbidding. Why? Because moth and rust destroy, and thieves break in and steal eventually. Anything we invest our hearts and souls into this life is perishable. That's what it's saying. Eventually, the things we love will decay or be taken away. We all know this. Why? Because even when we die and are buried, we take nothing with us. For we brought nothing into this world. We know this. So Jesus tells us, do not treasure up treasures on earth. Instead, lay up treasures in heaven. How do we do that? If we look back to Matthew 6, Jesus distinguished two types of people: those who give, pray, and fast for self-serving motives, and those who practice these disciplines sincerely, humbling themselves and serving others, both receiving rewards. The self-serving receive attention, reputation, and temporary gain, but the other receives their reward from the Father in heaven, who sees in secret. In this way, Jesus continues the theme of reward and of treasure, either on earth or in heaven. But let me close this first section with the words of the Apostle Paul from 1 Timothy. I think I can top this better than what he said. 1 Timothy chapter 6. Verses 17 to 19. Towards the end of the epistle, he says, as for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share, thus storing up treasure for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. Friends, you may think you're not rich, so this thing doesn't apply to you. But in a global and historical perspective, no one in this room has experienced absolute poverty. Have we? No one here worries about whether they'll have to have clothes to wear or food to eat. Most of our concerns then are about preferences, isn't it? So let's put our hope not in wealth or security, but in God Himself, the provider of all our needs. Let's store up treasures in heaven by doing good works to those around us, rather than hoarding for ourselves. Our treasure lies where our heart is. So ask ourselves, where do our times and monies go? In a capitalistic world, I think that's often the clearest map to the location of our hearts. Time and money. Then Jesus speaks about the eye in verses 22 and 23. The eye is the lamp of the body, so if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness. At first glance, this seems disconnected from the discussion about treasure. But the phrase, if your eye is healthy, uses a Greek word with a wide range of meaning. Sincere, sound, single. And in the Jewish world of Jesus' day, his contemporaries, it was also used to describe simplicity, integrity, and generosity. So what does it mean to have a healthy eye? It means you see clearly, not only physically, but spiritually. You see the needs around you. You respond with compassion. You are generous, not self-served or self-centered. So in short, having a good eye means to store up treasure in heaven, in a sense. And this brings us back to Matthew 5, verses 14 to 16. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. When our eyes are healthy, our bodies are full of light. That light overflows to others, and we truly become the light in the dark places. We become city on the hill, as Jesus envisioned for his disciples. Jesus uses double entendre here with a single eye because it implies a singleness of purpose and an undivided loyalty here. A singleness of purpose and undivided loyalty. And this sets the stage for next verse, verse 24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. After calling for single and undivided devotion, Jesus brings the message to its climax. You cannot serve two masters, he says. There is no room for syncretism here. We must choose. We must choose either God or money. Either the ultimate provider or the resources themselves. But love and hate here are a part of a Semitic idiom used to express strong preferences. So Jesus isn't calling us to hate money in the sense of despising all use of it, since money itself is morally neutral, right? But he is demanding that our deepest love and highest allegiance go to God alone. But don't let this idiom fool you or confuse you. When we're faced with a choice between serving God or pursuing financial security at the expense of our obedience, daily obedience, we know what our decision says about our allegiance. And NIV translation uses the word mammon for this, meaning that in which one puts confidence. That in which one puts confidence. So Jesus is posing us a question. What are we trusting? What are we trusting in more than God? If our confidence comes from our wealth, our plans, our possessions, or health, rather than God himself, we must ask, Are we truly serving God? Are we truly loving God in this, according to this idiom? But I want to also close with two brief parables today. And you know this one. It goes like this. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who on finding one pearl of great value, went and sold all that he had and bought it. I think we often burden ourselves with guilt because we know we are not fully treasuring heaven. We're disappointed in our divided hearts, our distracted loyalties, our failures to serve God with singleness of devotion. And I even catch myself just remorsing over this. This creates a pattern in me, and I'm just satisfied with having this feeling of remorse, and not so much repentance, but just repentive heart. Just having that mind itself, it's fine. We might call it where I'm not in a good place with God, or my faith is not well, whatever. But I think in these two parables, we do have to ask ourselves, why do we fail? Why do we fail to treasuring our treasures in heaven? Why are we double-minded? Why is our allegiance so easily compromised? Well, according to this parable Jesus gives us, maybe it's because we haven't truly grasped the value of the kingdom of heaven. Maybe we don't yet see its surpassing worth. And my friend, I think this parable also makes it clear that it's only God who can reveal it to us. As Jesus' parables show, once the value is truly known to us, the response is immediate, joyful, wholehearted. We will sell everything. We will serve. We will love, because nothing else compares. So if you find your heart divided, your affections tangled, your treasure misplaced, don't start with guilt, please. Start with a prayer to the Father. Ask God to open your eyes to the true worth of the kingdom. That's the place where transformation happens. And I think that's the place we all should start. Let's pray. Can you all rise?